Welcome back to the channel here. So this is sort of part three of this thing I've been covering because people seem to want to be taking our constitutional rights and reducing them down into this really dense, very limited way of thinking about it. And I'm mostly addressing this sort of idea that rights are just beliefs, or they are just force, or they're just one thing, or people are saying they don't exist altogether. They're just imaginary, right? They're just ideas, and they're not. And people are asking the question, what are rights? The fact that people even have to ask this question now is kind of disturbing to me, but if I had to explain what rights are, they are an agreement about who gets to do what. It is an agreement. It is ideas, but a lot of actions are taken on those ideas. I mean, if you're going to say your rights are just ideas, then everything's just an idea. Well, the fact is it's not, especially with the Constitution. I'm hard pressed to know of any other government that has a constitution that focuses on having opportunity for the people versus the government, right? The government has the limitations in our Constitution. So in our Constitution, this isn't a matter of faith. And that's what this video is. This is the third part. It is not a matter of faith. So some Christian people like to say, well, you don't believe in God, but you believe in your rights. They think they've got you pegged, but no, your rights are not about belief. It's not a matter of faith. There's nothing in our Constitution that says, well, we said that you have rights to free speech and we laid down this foundation so you never have to worry about the government, that, you're just going to be able to point to your rights and say, hey, this is the foundation, and you'll be able to remind the government when they seem to be slipping out of line, and they'll just go straight back into being totally constitutional and fair, and you don't ever have to worry about it again. That is not what our Constitution says. That would be a matter of faith, that we're just going to have faith that our government is going to always act well toward the people. That's not what the Constitution does. No, it says you have unalienable rights. And what I do to make people understand that better is you have natural abilities to speak, to travel and move around, to defend yourself if you need to, and that the Constitution recognizes that these things should be allowed more than not. That when they look back on history, they saw that government oppresses people in certain areas. They try to censor them. You can't say anything in your defense. You're silenced. And if you speak out again, you're done. Never have any ability to defend yourself. You're not allowed outside these gates. You're not allowed outside this, kingdom or area. You're not allowed outside of boundaries. So your travel's limited, right? What areas do governments try to bottleneck? Because when they start doing that, the coils of tyranny begin to tighten. And so they said, no, these specific things shall not be infringed. And they gave us the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. When you read these things, you're not reading a matter of faith. You're reading something that looks reality directly in the eyes and addresses it square on. We know tyranny is going to happen. You're reading a document of you're reading something that recognizes reality as it stands. Okay, these people were prepared for tyranny. They were prepared so that they could prevent it from happening ever again. This isn't just a reference document. This outlines actions you can take as a person, as a society, in order to retain your freedom. And in the context of these documents, freedom means freedom from tyranny. Okay? I just can't believe that people can't understand that. So your rights are not just ideas, they're not just force. It's a series of being able to perceive reality, right? It's a very realistic document, reality minded, not faith, not just faith or sentiment. It is directed at reality. Look, generally speaking, all exceptions aside, all people have the ability, are born naturally with the ability to speak. Whether you think that was God or nature or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the founding fathers believed. Christians like to say, well, no, they were Christian. And so because they were good, they made a good document. Christianity helped them. I don't know. Maybe. But most likely, they were looking at what any rational person could look at in terms of tyranny versus liberty. And you also have these arguments now that libertarianism is this nonsense. Really? So your freedom, in this document that says the free practice of religion shall not be denied. It doesn't use those exact words, but it pretty much says you are free to practice any religion. Is that nonsense that you're allowed to be a Christian? Look, I know in the past Christians were persecuted and that now they seem to be being attacked again, but the past of Christian culture is not pure either. It's not innocent. So what the founding people of this country understood is that we needed to make something that would be good for everybody, right? Regardless of what the founding fathers, whatever they thought, whatever their sentiments were, they put them aside to do something that would be good for everybody. And things have improved because of the Constitution itself, because of the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence. They had to go, okay, wait, we're slave owners. And we're writing this document. They knew their own hypocrisy. Okay, and eventually, yes, and we had to go to war to end slavery. And then it's true that there was a lot of discrimination that legally wasn't abolished until, much later on in our history, until modern times. So, no, nothing's perfect. But at least this document allowed and justified for those things to happen. That's a good starting point. This isn't just ideas and rights. We can look at history and see outcomes that made very decent change. Those things are not fake. They're not just ideas. I think there are a lot of weird tribal agendas going on. I think there's some small groups of Christians who want to replace the Constitution with the Bible. And feminists want to get rid of it altogether. I think people just need to step back and quit attacking our Constitution and really start to think about it and think about the reality. Anyway, that's all I got to say today. Thank you for listening. I've had a lot of coffee. I tend to rant when that happens. And again, one other thing is that, it's my view that the best way to protect your rights is to indulge them. Just do them, speak, travel, do all those things that the Constitution says you can do. Because the more you normify your rights, the harder it is for them to be oppressed. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care.